do you want to reset?
I am Ming, otherwise known as Suzie Wong of Singapore. So I'm the owner of Acro Pilates People.
So yeah, that leads me right on to the next question.
Okay.
So what kind of risks are there in this activity?
Yes, okay, just like all sports, there'll be risks, right? Even if you are the most experienced lifting guy, you still can get your elbows, your wrists, your knee injured. So I'll say in a similar sense, if you do not build your foundation and your strength properly and you try to rush it, then definitely, some joints, some ligaments are going to get overstretched or torn. There is the risk of falling. I'm not going to lie, but that's why this studio is equipped with mats and crash pads and safety mats. If you follow our instructors' instructions carefully, diligently, and if you're well warmed up and you do not rush it, then I can honestly say that it's as safe as it can get. And of course, we cannot lie about. Some people have, wrist broken before they've got a plate inside. Of course, when I ask you to do handstand, you're not able to do. So your declaration has to be accurate in the first place. And like I said, if you follow, then you're okay. Like for me, a lot of my parts, especially my left side, has been injured before. Only because my younger days, I would like to rush it. Now I feel, in fact, as a 53, I'm much more fitter and stronger than when I was in my 36 when I first pick this up, because now I'm more aware of what I can do and what I cannot, what my muscles are ready to lift up, and how do I say it? Okay, to be engaged. But back then it's like, jump. And of course nowadays youngsters will do the same, but if you get injured, I would say lucky for them, they recover much faster.
Yeah.
So I want to be very, very super careful now.
I guess the good thing about using your own weight as an exercise tool is if you cannot lift yourself, there's very little risk of hurting yourself that way.
Okay, so that's the interesting part about pole. There's many ways of lifting yourself. Yeah, even doing the same end trick, there's many ways of getting into it. So, because sometimes we have unisex class here, we have girls and guys, and naturally guys have more strength, but they do not have the best line, so they can actually get the trick much faster. So it's going to get bored when a girl is struggling. So we will teach these two people the different way of getting into it, and if the guy gets it already, then we challenge him to do something else. So there's always transitions, there's always a marrying of different tricks. That's why we have what we call combos, which are so fun and never ending. Even up to now, 13 years later, every day I look at Instagram, open up, someone comes out with a new combo. It's so frustrating, but so challenging at the same time. Yeah. So it's never ending, the learning cycle.
Are there set moves to learn or?
Yes, to get yourself there where you can really be free and mix and match your moves, yes, there are set moves.
So as a beginner, as you progress, you learn certain moves, and as you progress, you learn more and more complicated moves.
Yes, that's right. So we start with spins for level 1, we call that, and then after climbs, and then after basic inverts, and then start more complicated inverts. From the invert, what can you now transit to with one knee holding the other knee, no knees, no hands? Then that sets the question, what is holding right? That's where you need to see the moves itself.
So do you purposely hold segregated classes, or is all?
Okay, so back then there were very few men who want to do this. So if they were in a class, they're either not a real man, or they might be boyfriends of the girlfriends who just come for fun. But their attention span normally might not be very long, because like I said, guys tend to be less impatient. But now, yes, after pole dancing has been very exposed. In fact, it was in Chingay, National Day, national events. So we have separate classes for guys now, so that they can move along quicker.
Definitely less graceful.
Oh, definitely. The lines, that flex feet thing is something that we need to use a ruler to whack, because they don't care, right, guys? Nice.
They just want to be able to do that flip part.
Yeah, that human flag. That's like that graduation. Done already, then it disappear.
As a runner, I can see that we're just using very different muscles from what we normally use, like if you're running or swimming.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
So I think that's where there might probably be a lot more benefits, especially in the core, and because a lot of it has to do with your core holding yourself up.
Yep, yes.
Limbs.
So true.
I think that's the challenging thing. I think that will be for me as well.
I think you may have the core, but it's about that awareness of how to tweak it to this thing that's the exciting thing, yeah. So if you already have a core and it clicks, then you'll be, oh, there'll be the aha moment.
What sort of equipment would we need to start if we sign up as a beginner?
This is your equipment. Okay.
Do we have to have certain clothes or shoes or gloves or something?
Okay, so that equipment. Shorts definitely, because when we do spins, we'll definitely need to use from knee down to ankles and maybe bare arms in that sense. Reason, fabric will not adhere, it is not friendly with the metal, so you may just slide down. But again, I would like to differ, because in some of the pole competitions of the guys, especially strong, even girls now, they can be fully clothed as you do, because they have so freaking much glute strength. But not for a beginner. I won't recommend, because we don't want you to slide. So as you can see, the girls here, when they first come, normally wear big t-shirt, big shorts, and as they go along, the clothes get tinier, not because we want to be sexier, but because we want to have as much skin in contact as possible to get our weird parts and curves of our body to adhere to the pole, to get that move. Yeah, so yes, I'll say the less clothes, the better. At least while you're learning. Shoes wise, when you are doing exotic pole, yes, like the 8-inch heel, it's kind of like given. I would say not a must, you can do without, but in competition, yes, if it's exotic pole. Gloves are very interesting. People with sweaty palms, there's a certain tacky glove that they can wear, but honestly these days with all the grip aid that has been produced for this sport, I see very few people needing the gloves.
I like the fact that you use the word sport.
Yes.
It's become from something CE to theatrical to more of a sport now.
It is definitely a sport, especially because now I'm practicing a lot of the flip moves. Yeah.
During the class, is it all about the pole? Do you do like push-ups or this sort?
Yes. Definitely conditioning takes about 25% of the time in a class, and especially if we go more advanced. So that with warm-up element, there will be off the pole conditioning, there will be on the pole conditioning before we actually start the class, and then we cool down. There's also supplementary classes here, like for example, just stretch and just strength and flexibility class, just to supplement and complement what you want to do.
What kind of costs are we looking at in terms of starting a
cost-wise, ours is really one of the most affordable. We haven't increased our price much since the day we started. Back then, like 13 years ago, a class, $25 is considered expensive, because other form of classes like 13 or 15. But now all the classes are way beyond 25, and we're still keeping about that price tag. So $215 for beginner course. In fact, for most of our whole courses, for 2 months, 8 lessons. So that comes up to only about 105-ish for a month, and it's way affordable. Yeah. But that's the beginner whole up till quite high levels, but area classes would be priced a little different. Oh, next time we'll do our area.
Yes, looking forward to that week. Why are you so passionate about pole and aerial?
So my passion stems from the fact that firstly I found it very empowering. Like I mentioned earlier, there's this inner desire when I was younger to be a gymnast or acrobat, but I never had the opportunity. And this gives me that dream, that hope. And I was pleasantly surprised, because as someone who could be quite easily, bored or something, attention span not very, but this have not been bored since day one because it's the people who now are in this sport are always marrying other genres of fitness stuff into it and creating something. So literally every day someone's creating a new combo, a new move, a new style even. So from what are the different things that can be incorporated into this is gymnastics, acrobats, Malakam, which is an Indian pole. Yeah, Chinese pole. Okay, why it's called Chinese pole, which nobody else knows, it's not actually from China. But you go to watch a circus, there's sometimes one or few poles where it's very big and these acrobats kind of don't climb the traditional way. They climb with some very weird movements, like even using a toe. And it's very, very tall, they slide down, boom, and then they just almost touching the floor. So they marry this kind of thing. That's why these days there's a lot of drop moves, there's a lot of flips, and all from basically combining your bodies, which I find it so challenging. And it's frustrating in a way because some things we can't do them, we just want to try and try and try. So like I say, gymnasts will come one session where we take 10 years, that kind of stuff. So it has kept my interest up to now, which is why I'm so passionate. And definitely this is one thing that I feel that keep me very fit, agile, and
Well preserved.
Yes.
Have you looked at the sixth grade?
Yes, still trying. Okay, I had a cake today. Yeah, so really, really like, wow, I think I found just that thing for me. And someone asked me, how long do you think I can do? I mean, if I can do past my 60, I want to be the one that, still doing that. There's some people in the world past 60 still doing amazing. They are my inspiration.
That's a real question, like what kind of age group are there doing home?
I would say if you scroll through YouTube, there are probably about maybe a handful of 3 to 5 above 60 who are still doing it, and I intend to be the next one. Good. More time to teach you.